Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's session. Please kindly do a thumbs up if you can hear me and you can see my screen. Hi, everybody. Please make a reaction if you can see me. And you can, if you can, sorry, if you can hear me and you can see my screen. Okay, I can see some people raising their hands. I believe you're confirming that you can hear me. Thank you so much. Thank you for confirming. Welcome to today's session. It's so nice to have you all on this call, and we're going to be. Oh, you can't see. Patrick is saying that he can't see my screen. Okay, Oluwatomiche is also saying that they can't see my screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop sharing. And a lot of people have confirmed that they can hear me, but they can't see my screen. I'm going to reshare. Please kindly let me know when you can see my screen. So I'm trying to reshare my screen now. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Hi, everybody. Can we see my screen now? I just started resharing. We can just make a reaction. Not yet. I apologize.
No, we can't see your screen yet, Busy.
Okay, all right. I'm just going to try to stop sharing and reshare again.
I can share for you, Olabisi, if you're having issues sharing your screen, and then you talk through the slide.
Hi, everybody. Can we all see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Apparently, it was my network. I apologize for that. Welcome once again, everybody. Okay, thank you for confirming, Chiere. Thank you for confirming that you can see my screen, Patrick. It's so nice to have us all on this call. I hope our day is progressing well. So we're just going to get straight to the business of the day. I'm going to start sharing a slide now. Please confirm that you can also see my slide now. So the first thing I'm going to do is to introduce us to our topic of today, which is introduction to the workshop and getting started with analytics. And our speaker for today is Adewale Yusuf. I'm going to be introducing him much later on the call, but for now, I want to quickly walk us through the ground rules for this session, and I would really appreciate if we all try as much as possible to follow through with the rules so that we can all have an amazing session and an amazing time together. So the first on our ground rules is punctuality. It is important for us to always come early to class, be punctual. So I would also appreciate if we can go on our WhatsApp group chat and encourage other people who are not on the call yet, encourage them to join in. Just drop a message telling them that the session has started and they can still join in. The second is to have an open mind. Yes, it is important for anything related to learning. It's important for us to have an open mind so that we can all learn from the session. And regardless of the knowledge that you might have concerning analytics before, I believe that there's always something new to learn. And to top it all, our speaker for today is somebody with many years of experience, and trust me, we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot from him. And also the third one is one class. Yes, please let us all work together to have a coordinated class so that we can all have an amazing time together. Like I previously said, participation is also important. Let's interact in class. When our speaker asks us questions, please let's make sure to answer. We can drop our responses in the chat. And if you would like to speak, you can raise your hand and I'll give you permission so that you can speak. Also, respect is something that is very important for us to take note of. Let's respect ourselves. Let's respect our speakers. We're all here to learn, and I believe that we're going to have an amazing time if we stick to mutual respect. Ask questions. Yes, there's going to be a session for Q&A, so you can definitely ask your questions. Drop them in the chat, and like I said earlier, if you'd like to ask them by speaking, you can always raise your hand and I will give you permission to speak. Mute your mic always. If you would have all noticed, our mics are currently all muted. Um, if we if we are going to be allowed to speak, I'm going to be the one to unmute our mic and to give us permission to speak. And raise your hand before you speak. I think I've already mentioned this like 2 times or 3 times now. Please, it's important so that we can have a coordinated time, a coordinated class. Always raise your hand before you speak, and I will definitely give you permission to do that. So now I'm going to be introducing our speaker for today. Like I mentioned, his name is Adewale Yusuf, and he is an analytics associate manager at Accenture, Dublin, Ireland. And here are some of the experiences that he has. Like I mentioned earlier, he's somebody with a good number of years of experience, with so many knowledge to impact, and we're going to really enjoy this session, I believe so. So the first is he has 7+ business intelligence experience. He's a Microsoft certified trainer. He has been awarded the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional for 5 years running now. We can all see this. He has also trained over 10,000 participants, including senior management on Power Platform, which includes Power Apps, Power Automate, big data, Microsoft Office tools, and advanced presentation skills for business. He has also built robust analytics system solutions for clients across various industries, ranging from aviation, telecommunication, financial institutions, and many more. He is also the convener and lead of the Nigeria Power Platform User Group. He's the founder of Analytics Corper Workshop, which is the one that we're currently holding, and today is our first session. And he's also the founder of Analytic Extra Mentorship Program. Please, can we give a round of applause for our speaker for today? We can all see what I'm saying, and I believe that we'll also be able to attest to it after today's session. Please kindly let us, give him a round of applause. Let's encourage our speaker for today. Hi, Mr. Adewale. Can you confirm that you're available to take on the session now, please? Hi, everyone. Can we all still hear me, please? All right, thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to be handing over to Mr. Adewale so that he can take on the session for today. Please, let's encourage him. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Adewale as he takes over today's session. Thank you, Amo. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone that is clapping. Our speaker is going to take over very soon. Hi, Mr. Adewale. Please, you can take over the session now.
Hi, Olabisi. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry. At the point where you are doing the beautiful introduction for me, my system went off. I forgot to plug it.
Oh, sorry about that. So sorry about that.
Thank you
Okay,
so
so
much for the nice introduction. I think I can go ahead, right?
yes, please you can. Yes, please you can.
Yeah, so I'm going to basically share my screen in a second and also share my video so that you guys at least, I'm going to put a face to the voice now. Okay, so thank you so much, Olabisi, for that beautiful introduction. I was flattered when I was listening to a lot of interesting things that you've said about me, and I think that's me basically. Nothing new, nothing else. I would like to probably add to what you've already explained. So the idea of creating this workshop is to give back to people as much as we can. And then one thing I usually tell people at the beginning of this session, this is the fourth one. We started 4 years ago, and then we've trained over probably 3,000 of core members, and most of them actually come back to give back to the community as well. So, and the key thing I usually tell most people that join the session is there's a particular opportunity that I do not have when I was 7. And then there's one opportunity that actually really helped me a lot, which transformed my career. And ever since then, I've always been like, I just want to do something as well to give back to people. And then I want to make sure that people kind of venture into tech very soon, and then we are not caught up with the aspect of I'm looking for job, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. As we all know, tech is what is actually raining now, and everybody's going into a tech. So no matter what you study in school, um, tech is very important for us, and that is why I think this is something we should do. And just for your information, I did my NYSC in Port Harcourt, in Gokana. Anybody that know Gokana in Port Harcourt? So I spent some time in Gokana, and then after like few months, let's say like 2 or 3 months, I got tired. I got tired of Port Harcourt. I run back to Lagos. And then I finish up my NYS in Lagos, and then I've been doing tech ever since then, and then I transitioned into data analysis since then. I've grown a lot in my career. I've trained a lot of people. I've moved from one company to another, and now I work with Accenture in Dublin, Ireland. So there's no limitations to what you can achieve, basically, and that is the essence of actually creating this bootcamp, giving opportunities that most core members will not have for free. Most importantly, for free, right? Because we are not charging you guys, and we are actually investing our time on this. So basically, today is about introduction. I'll introduce the workshop to you. I will talk about the timeline. I'll talk about your area of growth. We'll talk about the summary, and then we'll also talk about data literacy, right? And then for people that are just getting started, zero knowledge, right? We need to talk about data literacy. Even if you have 100% knowledge, we still need to talk about the foundation of everything. So you kind of understand why we are doing this, what data is all about, why you should be interested in data analytics, why you should start learning data analytics. Because you can't compare yourself. For example, if you're working in a bank as a bank manager or bank whatever, the growth you have in bank is limited to probably being a branch manager. From branch manager, maybe some other stuff. You can't compare that to somebody that is into tech. They can just get a tech gig of like a salary of 2 million, 3 million. So it is very important to go into tech right now, and that is what everybody's doing, right? One thing I usually share at the beginning of every session, right, is this beautiful quote that I have. The quote simply says, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. So learning is by choice, basically. People don't force you to learn. People don't say, okay, this is what you must do. This is what you must learn. This quote is by Brian Herbert. So the willingness to learn is a choice. Whether you want to learn this, whether you want to be good at this, is your choice, right? It's something you need to think about. Whether you want to be joining the session or the time you want to make sure you are serious with this, you do assignments, you watch all the videos assigned to you, It's a choice you have to make on your own. Nobody's pushing you to that. You just have to know that learning is very important. Even me, I'm learning at a point of my career, and I'm still learning. I've been almost 10 years in this, doing this, and I'm still learning, right? So learning is very, very, very important that you need to do, because we've seen a trend over the couple of years that people will join session, they will not join this session, people will drop now, they will come next session. I'm looking for a recording. Unfortunately, the bad news is this year we are not giving out recording. So if you don't join the session, that's it, right? Yeah, that's one of the beautiful quotes I'm going to start with. Then I'm going to introduce you to our team as well. Basically, I'm the host, Adewale Yusuf. Or before I even continue, if you can see my screen, can you just type yay in chat? And if you can't, just say nay in chat. Let me know if you can see my screen before I talk too much. Okay, yeah, sharp. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can see my screen. All right. So if you are saying nay, so that means that may be your network. So what you should do is probably sign out, leave the meeting, and then come back in. If you can't see the screen, just leave the meeting and then come back. I think that way it will reset your network and you should be able to see the screen. So I'm the host, Adewale Yusuf. I have two co-hosts, Joseph Fadero and Pelumi Arosai. You should know two of them. They are also very, very good when it comes to data analytics. They're one of the big mentors we have in the industry. I also have Chidima. Okay, she's our event coordinator for this event. So she's going to be managing this event from start to finish, and she has been doing a lot of that. So I want us to say like a big thank you to this amazing people and all our moderators. They've been doing a lot of work to make sure that this event is actually a success. And then we are not paying them. So we are all doing this as a community service. So we're giving back to our community. We are not being paid. So we are just doing this for you guys. And we know that for maybe in future, you guys will also do the same to other people that is coming after you, right? So that is the team, and I also want to introduce you to our moderators. So we have Tofade Samuel, we have Ridwan Temitokbe, we have Kasali Samson, we have Olabisi Olaleye, we have Victoria, we have Abdurrahman. So these are basically some of the moderators that we have for this event. So this is Olabisi. You met Olabisi today. She made the session interesting for you. She introduced me, and then I think Olabisi, you are part of the last year boot camp. Are you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, no. Okay, you wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask you. Maybe you can give like an overview of what you think last year one was. So basically,
No.
some of the people you can see here, they were part of the last year boot camp and the mentorship program, and they are doing very well for themselves now because of their seriousness, basically. So meet our interesting moderators, that is them. We're also going to meet our speakers. So these are the people that will be speaking to you. So we are not just bringing anybody to speak to you or somebody from somewhere. So these are industry experts, professionals, people that are already doing this, people that can guide you, people that can help you, right? Even if you pay 300,000 for this training, it doesn't worth it because these people their time is actually more than that. So you are getting a lot of values for free, right? You're getting a lot of values for free and you are meeting industry experts. So these are the different speakers that will be coming and talking to you. Sadiq Yusuf, Ganil, I know. In fact, there's a story I usually tell about Ganil. So Ganil is part of our Analytic Corper workshop members for 2023, right? Yeah, he was part of our core members for 2023 that joined us. I can happily tell you that Ganil worked with a UK company now that pay him over £2,000 and he still stays in Nigeria. He earned in pounds while he's in Nigeria as a data analyst. So he's a big boy now. And he was part of this program like 2 years ago. So if you're serious as well, you can definitely get to wherever you want to get to. All right, so this is going to be 6 weeks of intensive program, which is going to consist of learning, fun, certifications, graduation. We will also do some gatherings like in 2023. I remember I was in Nigeria in 2023, so we went to the beach at the end of the session. All of us went to the beach. The people that are in Lagos, I met the people in Lagos. We went to the beach together. We are like almost 50. We just have a hangout. I also went to Ibadan. The people in Ibadan, we went to There's one nice place in Ibadan that we went to. I also went to Abuja. The people in Abuja, we went to also a very nice restaurant and we just have fun. I think that's only the three basic locations that I went. Okay, I think I went to Osun State to Oshogbo. Yeah, but unfortunately, I can't be moving around. I left Nigeria for good. See you when I see you. All right. So 6 weeks intensive program. So what you are going to be learning is basically data literacy, understanding the data fundamentals. You're going to be learning Microsoft Excel. You're going to be learning Power BI. You're going to be learning SQL, and you also be learning Microsoft Fabric. So these are the key tools that you need to learn as a beginner or as an intermediate to get yourself started. All right. So what is the timeline of the session? I've seen a lot of people asking questions about timeline. So we start today, which is Saturday, 30th of August, 2025. We are going to end by Sunday, 5 October 2025, right? Which is 6 weeks times. And then we'll be meeting every weekend for 6 weeks on Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday, we'll meet for 6 weeks. So if you can plan yourself, sacrifice your time, and make sure these 6 weeks actually worth it, because we are also sacrificing our time. So we don't want to accept the excuse that most people usually make, that sorry, I can't make the session because of this, I can't make the session because of that, can I have the access to the recording? So we stop that, because we notice that once people start getting access to the recording, they won't even join the session. They will just wait for the recording and they will go and do it at their free time. So that's not what we want for the session, right? All right. So
Hi,
this is the
Mr.
schedule.
Adewale. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
cut you. So I think we have been getting comments that participants can't see your screen. So it's just basically
Okay.
your name that is displaying. I also cannot see your slides if you are currently presenting a slide.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing now and then share again.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm sharing again. Let me know when you can see.
Okay, I currently cannot see your screen yet, but can anybody confirm? Any of the
Can anyone
participants,
see
you
my
can just
screen?
make a
Just type
yes,
yes or
just
no.
make a thumbs up or use the comment. Okay, someone, Michael is saying that he can see. Patrick can see. Okay. Okay, your screen is up now. Thank you so much, Mr.
Yeah.
Diwali. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the schedule of how the program is going to be. So we have different speakers that's going to speak with us. And then I think we also have like a graduation and meetup, like I said. So we have team that are currently in Lagos, which is my co-moderators, my co-hosts like Oluwapelumi, Joseph Fadero. They can meet with you if you want to have an hangout. They can also be there and just meet, and then people share their stories and all that. So that is the schedule for the session. Then how do we achieve our goal? Basically, the best thing we'll do is we'll bring industry experts to take part in some of the session, which we are doing. These are industry experts that you can ask industry questions. Some Microsoft learning parts will be assigned to you. A lot of assignments will be given to you. A lot of videos will be given you to watch. And then you also have project activities, challenge, and competitions. And one thing we also always tell people is always make a tweet about your learning session and post on LinkedIn. So maybe once we are done with the sessions today, maybe you should just take a small screenshot of what you learned today or post it on LinkedIn. Let people be aware of your journey. Document your journey. You never know who is looking at you. You don't know which recruiter is actually looking at. If you can't see my screen, that could probably be your network. So you can drop out and then join again. So you can join, leave the call and then join again. That will reset your network. So let's always make a tweet about our learning, and then some free course will be assigned to us. And then most important thing, let the world know what we are doing. Like I said, post out, post on LinkedIn, tag me, I will respond so that you can actually document your learning right there. Okay, so at the end of the workshop, if you want to get certification, the workshop should be give you enough knowledge for you to pursue your certification in Power BI Data Analyst. You can read more about the Microsoft Learn, and you can just sign up for the exam and do the exam, basically, if you want to. you should also be industry ready for job opportunities. Like at least you should have some basic and standard understanding for you to start seeking internship or some other jobs that can get you ready. Then I also sometimes have job opportunity for my pool of network. I know a couple of people that usually reach out to me that they need people, and I've recommended a lot of people in the community. So if it's possible, I can recommend you as well. If you can't see my screen, Ajib, please sign out and come back in. And one thing is I will also try my best to meet in person, which is not sure, but I will try my best to meet you in person. But if you can't meet me in person, you can meet most of our moderators and our co-hosts. You can meet them in person. Many of them are actually residents in Nigeria, so you can ask for their location and just meet with them up. So we can plan one weekend getaway and networking with each other. Like I said, one weekend we just plan. So probably we can pick a location where we have more people. Then people that can come from outside that location can come, for example, maybe Lagos. And then people from other location, people that can make it can come for a weekend getaway and networking with each other. Yeah. So you guys just meet each other and interact with each other and get to know each other and hold each other hands while learning. So basically, that's the introduction of the workshop. Basically, that's what the workshop is going to cover. That's what the workshop is all about. Nice meeting you to everyone. So I'm going to go into data literacy and give you some idea about what data literacy is, and just you understand that. I'm going to do that in probably 20 minutes, and then we round up for the session. So the idea of data literacy. So what does data literacy mean? So data literacy is just the process of how data started from raw to insight, basically. Let me say from raw to insight. That is what the data literacy is. So you understand all process and aspect of data. How do you generate data? How do you structure data? How do you store a data? How do you analyze the data? How do you run some statistics or machine learning on the data? And then how do you make informed decisions? So that is what a data literacy is basically all about. So it's basically talking about all the processes that are involved in data. And when we are talking about these processes in data analytics, we are talking about data generation. How do data actually being generated? Data structure. How do we structure it? How do we store it? How do we do analysis, and how do we do statistics? To put it in a simple terms, it's just like the way you use phone on your phone, right? How do you generate a picture? By opening your camera and then you snap the picture. How do you put those pictures into structured? So you put in the structure to say, okay, all the pictures that I took, I know iPhone can actually do that. All the picture that I took in this particular location, I want to put it in this location. All the pictures that are related to my child, I want to put it in this location. That's structure. Then storage, where are you storing these pictures? Am I storing it on the iCloud? Am I storing it on my phone? Am I storing it on Google Cloud? So that's storage. Analysis, now you're analyzing the pictures to say, okay, so which of my picture is the best? Which of my picture has the most color? Which of my picture is the finest? Which of this is one of many of my friends like? So that's analysis, right? And it's simply that, and you're making decisions with that. So this analysis is one of the most simplest aspects of tech that I can actually get into. So one thing you also need to understand before you get into data analytics is every organizations in the world, they run on two systems, right? Two systems. Every organizations in the world, they run on two systems. And those systems are basically operational system and then analytics system. So operational system is how businesses execute their business processes. That's operational system. If I want to put it in a simple terms to you, I would say, for example, if you see somebody that if you go to a store, for example, you want to buy something, and then when you take something you want to buy, you go to the cashier input that into the system. So what that cashier is doing is operation. So that cashier is executing a business process, right? So, okay, so this is how we are running our business. This is how we are running our business. So they have a tool. Many organizations has a tool that they use to operate their system. If you go to maybe, let me say, a cinema, for example, you want to watch a movie, And then when you get there, the first thing you do is to go to the counter, you pay for the movie. So that's executing the business process. So that tools they are using to gather the movie ticket, that is an operational system. So they are collecting data from you guys to say, okay, 15 people come to watch this particular movie, 100 people watch this movie. So they are putting it down, and the price, how much you pay, which type of movie do you watch, what time do you come, what time slot do you pay for. So that's operational system. Now, the second one is analytic system, which is how we evaluate the business process. And when we are talking about evaluation, we are talking about we are checking how the business is doing. So, for example, how many sales of tickets we made in the cinema today? How many people buy our cinema ticket? How many people watch this movie? So we are evaluating the business. We are checking, is the business doing well? How much do we make last year? How much do we make this year? Because that is how a business can be successful. Forget about organizations. Think about it as yourself. Let's say you are selling shoe and bag, which is what most ladies does, right? They sell stuff online. So those things you are selling, the way you are selling it, and the way you are recording what you are being sold, that's operational. Then how you know your business is doing well, you compare this year versus last year, this month versus this month. How many sales did I make last month? 3 people patronize me. This month, 7 people patronize me, which is there is 4 people increase. So this is about 50% increase on my sales. So that's an analytics system. And that is what analytics is all about. So the world runs on 2 systems, like I said, which you should know, operational system and then analytics system. And then those operational system can be like a SAP, it can be Oracle, it can be Dynamic 365, it can be Swapcard, it can be Zoom, it can even be these teams, right? It can be a custom built system. It can be SQL. It can be anything. It can be a system built by a software developer. So that is an operational system. Now we have an analytics system, which is the second one. That is can be a self-service BI tools like Power BI, which you're going to learn in the session. It can be a bespoke system or a custom system. It can be some BI systems like Tableau and some other systems out there. It can even be our old good Excel, right? Excel. You can do analysis in Excel. And it can also be a calculator. Analytics system can also be a calculator, right? Where you just press. So the world runs on those 2 systems. Now, when we are talking about this data literacy, the first thing or the first aspect of data literacy is data generation. Because without data, you're practically not doing anything, right? You're only doing something if you have a data, right? So data generation is the first thing. Before you can analyze the data, first thing is you need to generate the data. How is this data being generated? And you as a data analytics, you need to think from that perspective to say, how is this data generated? Because that's how you can analyze it better. For example, data is everywhere. Data can be found everywhere. This is a coronavirus dashboard that was made some years back by myself. So data can be generated anyhow, anywhere. There's different ways you can actually generate data, and then you can find data anywhere. Now, there are different ways on how different organizations generate their own data. If you are in like a cinema that I put, for example, they have a way of generating how many people buy tickets. If you go to a store, they have a way of generating how many people actually purchase stuff. What did they purchase? In which branch? Which is the customer service that sold it? Now, I want you to take a look at this picture and then type in chat and tell me what data, because like I said, data is everywhere. So what data can you see, right? Type it in chat. Look at the picture very well. What data can you see in this picture? Okay, Martina said number of people, right? Okay, so like a population count. Somebody said raw data. So they say phone stores. Okay, so I can count that this particular market is about phone stores, so I can know how many phone stores are here, what kind of phone are they selling, marketing data. So okay, so somebody's saying I can come here and say, okay, I want to market some data, marketing. Okay, so I can market things here. Okay, market of phone, number of umbrellas. phone market. Okay, so that's the idea of actually data generation, because basically you are thinking critically, you are looking at stuff and you are saying, okay, so first thing you look at is this is the market, and then what are they selling in this market? What bring people to this market? Probably phones, right? Majorly phones that bring people to this market, telecommunications. So you can look at it in terms of shops. You can look at it in terms of revenue. Say how much are these people generating? Are they paying tax? Based on all this money they are generating, government can say, okay, so let me see, these shops are here. How much are they generating? Can they pay tax on them? Some people have shops, some people have umbrellas. Okay, so the people that have shops, people have umbrellas, what's their rent difference? How much should they pay? So there's actually a lot of data you can generate from this picture alone, or from this place. Then once you generate that data, then you can start analyzing it. Now let's look at another one. So I want you to look at this one and tell me, what data can you see? What data can you see here? Okay, grocery data, supermarket. First, if you are not seeing the screen, leave the call and join again. It's a network. So sales data. So there are different things you can see to say, okay, so how many people come to this shop? How many products do they buy? Which product are they buying? How much does each person spend on an average? What type of stuff do people buy from? So you can actually do a lot of analysis from looking at this alone. So this is a supermarket, right? And somebody tells you, okay, so this supermarket, we've been selling stuff, but we are not keeping data, so we don't know what time people come to shop with us most. Is it on weekend? Is it on Monday? Is it on Saturday? What time do we miss the most sales, right? So this is practically about sales, and you can gather a lot of information in this shop or in this picture. And this is how the idea data of vendors or supplier, yeah, that's also valid. And this is how idea of data generation starts, and people start generating that data, right? Because a data you didn't generate, there's no analysis of it. Now once you generate the data, you think of the data you want to generate. The next thing is storage. For example, in the previous picture, let's all agree that we agree that we're going to be generating a data based on sales, to say how many products did people buy, how much did they spend, right? That data that we agree we are going to generate, right? We need to store it somewhere. That data must be stored, right? So that we will not forget. We cannot be writing it in paper. We need to store it somewhere. And that is where data storage comes in. Najib, if you can't hear me, that if you can't see the screen, that's probably your network. You have to maybe leave and join again. Yeah, that's the best. Or change your network. Or I can also maybe put up my videos. Maybe that will help you as well. So data storage is very important, because this is where you now store it. So all those data we've talked about, that's where data storage comes in. And then when we are talking about data storage, we have two different types of storage. So we have the on-premises storage, and then we have the cloud storage. So on-premises simply means, you may be hearing those terms. Those terms are very simple. On-premises simply means data you are not storing online, data you are storing on your device somewhere, let's say your laptop. Any data you stored on your laptop, that is on premises. That data is sitting on your laptop. It's not cloud. It's not online. Like any data you save on your phone, that is on premises. Now the cloud, any data you save on iCloud, on Google Drive, on Azure, any data you save there, that is on the cloud, right? So most organizations now try to transition to the cloud so they can easily access their data anywhere. So that is data storage. So you are storing your data either on premises or on the cloud. Now, when we are talking about on premises and on the cloud, there are also different type of databases. And these databases that can be on premises on the cloud, you can have them. A lot of companies actually spend money on this database. So we have SQL, we have Access. Some of you would have seen Access. Even Facebook is a data storage, because sometimes if you start snap a picture like 3 or 5 years ago, you will just see that picture again appear. So that picture has been stored on the cloud, right? We can see SQL here, we can see Excel, we can see SQL, we can see Zero. So we can see Gmail. So different places where people store data, right? And that is data storage. Now, once you store your data, the next thing is now to structure it. So when it comes to data structure, there are ways to structure your data. There are ways to be sure that this data is well structured. And that has to follow some rules. There's a rule created by a company called Debran Consulting. It's called the 7 Golden Rules. I'm going to just list those rules for you, and then you can see how those rules look like. So this is a bad structured data, and this is a good structure, because basically this data is just scattered around now. It doesn't mean that data is bad. It's still the correct data. It's just that it's not structured correctly. So for example, I have region, I have LOB, I have year, I have revenue, right? So the same thing I have here. So arranging region straightly, line of business like this, year like this, and revenue like this. These are also line of business, but I can't see that they are line of business. So it is well arranged here, and then you can see here. So this is bad structure, and this is good structure. Now, there are rules that allows you to structure bad structured data. And those rules are created by Debran Consulting, like I said. So the first one is no empty column. So when you have a table like this, that table must not have an empty column anywhere. Empty column anywhere. There must not be any empty column, right? That's rule number 1. No empty column. No empty row. That's rule number 2. No empty row. So that table must not have any empty row anywhere in your data. Once there's an empty row, it means that that data is breaking somewhere, and that is not good enough for your data. So no empty row. The third one is all dates must be in a single column. So if you have a date, it must be in one single column, right? It must not scattered around. You can have a date scattered around in your report, but your data set, no. In your report, you can do anything you want. But in data structure, leave it like that. All date must be in a single column, like what you can see here. The third one, all column must have a unique data type, right? So don't scatter things around. So look at service plan, plat, and copier sales. They should be in a unique column and properly named. You can see they are properly named here. They are called line of business by revenue compared to what we have here. So you should have this, not this, right? And then the fifth one is no total or subtotal. It should never have total or subtotal anywhere in your data set, because when you have subtotal and total anywhere in your data set, when you now sum up the data set somehow, it's going to add the subtotal as well, and that can actually cause a problem. So in your data set, don't put any total or subtotal. You can have total and subtotal in your report, but in your data set, no. No obstructions around your data. This simply means you should not put obstructions anywhere. Don't write things that are not part of your data. Don't write it as part of your data. So only put things that are part of your data there. So if there's any obstruction, get rid of it, as you don't need them in your data. They are not part of it. And the last one is single rows of headings. So you must make sure that your table has a single rows of headings. So there should be no like splitting the rows across, or maybe merging rows like we used to do in Excel. So you should not do that. You should have only single row of headings, right? And that's 7 golden rules of data. And I'm going to leave them to you again. No empty column, no empty row. All date must be in a single column. All column must have a unique data type. No total or subtotals. No obstructions around the data. Single rows of heading. So these are basically the 7 golden rules of data structure. 7 golden rules of data structure. So you follow these rules to structure your data, but most of the time, the database data will have been structured already. So you don't need to structure it yourself. And then you don't need this step, right? Because the data engineer or whoever is working at the back end will have structured the data. You don't need to do this. Most of the time, we skip this as a data analyst. Now, once we have structured our data, And then, okay, let me ask you this simple question then. Out of the rules I listed, the table you are looking at here, which of the rule do you think is breaking? Which of the rule? Which of the rule do you think is breaking? Which of the rule? Anyone want to type in chat? Empty column, all rules, obstructions, date is on multiple column. Yeah, you guys are right. So it means you guys are learning. So there's empty column. So where's the empty column? I can't see empty column here. Date is on multiple column. No, I think this is the date. It's just on a single column, but just that it's not properly named. Obstruction, yes, we have an obstructions. There's definitely an obstruction. Empty row, I can't see empty row. Obstruction, yes. Obstruction, there's a total in the data set. Yes, there's a total, and total is not allowed, right? Yeah, so you guys are getting there. So now that is structuring the data. Now, when it comes to structuring the data, there is a process we call ETL. ETL. So this is the process of structuring and cleaning your data. And ETL means extract, transform, and load. ETL means extract, transform, and load. And extract is simple. Extract simply means you are extracting the data from somewhere. Let's say you want to analyze your Gmail data. You know, Gmail, Google actually keep location of everywhere you visit. If you have location turned on your phone, Google has that stored for you. They know where you've been to over the last couple of years, so they can track you. So if you want to extract that data set, you can actually ask for that data set from Google, and then you extract it. You transform. Transform is the process of structuring and cleaning the data. Make sure that that data is well aligned, right? Making sure that that data follow the 7 golden rule. That's transformation, right? Transform. And load simply means once you are done transforming, then you load this to a software where you want to use it. It can be a database. It can be like Power BI. It can be Excel. It can be everything, right? So that extract, transform, and load. Now there are tools that we use for this cleaning and structuring. So example of those tools are Power Query, IBM, SAS, Melissa, TIBC, Prefactor, WinPure. But which of these tools do you think is the most popular? Anyone want to type in chat? Which of them is the most popular for cleaning data? Someone said SAS. Which of them is the most popular? Yeah, so the most popular out of them is Power Query, because Power Query can be in Excel, it can also be in Power BI, and that's what you also be learning in the session as well. So Power Query is the most popular one out of them, so you also be learning it on how to clean data. So Power Query is one of the most popular one. IBM and then SSS is basically mostly for big data, and then you won't be handling that most of the time, and then it's actually a structured data engineer that will be doing that most of the time. So then the last part of the data literacy is data analysis. So data analysis is you analyzing the data, making sense from the data, bringing meaning to the data, telling story, right? So from data to insight. So you are basically telling a story, because data analysis is telling a story with data. Okay, so this is how the data should look, this data should be this data should be that, and this data should be whatever. So that's data analysis, and that is actually what you will be doing. Now, to summarize everything I've been saying since, from data generations up to data structure, to data storage, to data analysis, there are roles in data. So we have business analysts, we have data analysts, we have data engineer, we have data scientist, and then we have a database administrator. So these people has their own different roles. A business analyst is somebody that actually understands the business and then have a domain knowledge of the business and is actually analyzing the business. That is a business analyst. A data analyst is somebody that actually pick a raw data, and transforming it into a meaningful information. The person may not necessarily have a domain knowledge or understanding of a particular business, but the person just needs to get a raw data somewhere and transform it and make it into an interesting data set, which is actually what you will be learning in this workshop. Data engineer is somebody that actually work with the data structure part and data generation part. So which is the first two that I mentioned, right? So they kind of look at how do you generate the data, how do you structure this data, how do you clean this data, and they give that data readily available for a data analyst. A data scientist is quite a bit different from a data analyst, because what they do basically is they use artificial intelligence and machine learning to run algorithm on the data to see what the data can the story the data can tell more than the basic stories that you already know as a data analyst. So they use AI, machine learning, to do some algorithm on it and say, okay, so if this pattern is actually on our data set, what can we do so that this pattern does not repeat itself? And they use AI to test that. And that is data scientist. Now, a database administrator is basically somebody that just manages the admin side of everything. That is the role in data. So there's actually a lot that we can go through. And I think we pretty cover a lot in data literacy and giving you understanding and the background of what the data is. So I'll give you access to ask some questions. We'll give you access to ask some questions. If you can practically raise your hand if you want to ask the questions, then we'll allow you to kind of speak. One thing that you also know is you should be able to actually post about these sessions on LinkedIn and on Twitter once you are done from here. Let people know what we are doing here. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand and then the moderator is going to allow you to speak. Thank you so much.
Hi, thank you so much, Mr. Adewale. That was a very, very insightful session. I was really writing down. I hope everybody was jotting down as well, because there was so much knowledge to pick from this session. And yes, I can already see some people's hands up. And yes, not to worry. I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak now. The first on the list is Ayola. So I am going to be giving you access to talk. Ayola, please, you can go ahead and ask your question. And once you're done, please kindly let us put down on our ends so that I can see other people whose hands are up and have not spoken. So Ayola, please kindly go ahead. You are allowed to speak now.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for this amazing section. My question goes as does. You're talking about storage data. So like
Yep.
SQL, Facebook, and the rest. So I was like, okay, other datas they don't used to like SQL. I've forgotten the ones you mentioned on, and maybe like Drive, Google Drive, iCloud. Facebook now, if you start your files, before you know it can be blocked. You'll not be able to retrieve them again. So how will you be able to call that like a storage data when your files are being blocked? You'll not be able to have access to them. But Google Drive and the rest, they can't you can't block them. You always have access to them anytime, any day, unless it has been filled up, then you want to go from the normal one to the premium one. You should know the premium one, you always pay with money. Because even WhatsApp, you can be started, but before you know, something can happen, it can be blocked. Because I have my files back then, it was being blocked. You get my Facebook, but I was unable to retrieve them. So will I still call it a storage data?
So just to answer your question, I use those as an example for you to understand, not like it's a proper data storage tool, right? I just use it as an example that You can put your picture somewhere in Facebook, and then it's like you're storing it there because you can actually retrieve it back at any time. But regarding the blockage, so Facebook is not a core storage, a core storage tool. It's a social media. So
Okay,
anything
yeah.
that's related to social media tool, there's a restrictions and rules and regulations that you have to follow for the person that owns the social media platform. So they can block you or block your picture if you don't follow those rules and regulations. Unlike Gmail. So Gmail is not a social media tool. So if you
That's
like
true.
save anything there, save anything
Exactly.
that doesn't make sense, it doesn't concern Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ayola.
Thank you so much, Mr. Doali. Ayola, please, you can put your hand down now. The next person is Raji Koyum. So I'm going to be giving you access to speak now. Please go ahead with your question, Raji Koyum.
Good evening. Good evening, ma. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Raji. We can
Yes,
hear you.
please.
Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate boss for this great opportunity. And my questions are like I have two questions.
Okay.
Like I can see, data analysis is like data analysis is somehow competitive nowadays. My question is, can I still have the opportunity to win the heart of all those CEOs? Can I still have opportunity in the industry? That's my first question. And the second question is that SQL, learning of SQL, is it part of tools that data engineers normally use? Or to become a data engineer, what are the best tools for someone that wants to learn it to stick to or to learn more?
Okay, so
That's
to
also.
answer your question, Raji, the first question is very, very funny, and it's an interesting one to say, can I still like win? I want to use the same I want to phrase it the same way you phrase it. That can I win? Like what you basically mean is, can you still get a job? Can that still be an opportunity for you as a data analyst? Can you still be able to do stuff as a data analyst? Because a lot of people is getting into data analysis. A lot of people is doing this, that. Now, one thing I can tell you is a lot of people is doing it, but they are not doing it right. Right? And then most companies wants to see people that understand what they are doing, people that are ready to learn. And a data analyst job cannot go in exile. It's not a job that can say, okay, they are not doing it again. It's not a job that, okay, I want to be a data engineer. I don't want to be a data analyst. It's two things. You can either be a data analyst or a data engineer. So you can be both if you want to, right? So you can still be relevant, yes. If the question is, can I still be relevant? Yes. If you become a data analyst, you can still be relevant because I am a data analyst. Although mine, I don't usually call myself a data analyst again because I am many things now. So you can still be relevant. Yes, that's the answer to that. You can be relevant. Whatever anybody is doing out there, you never know where it's going to be. Pick your own call, and then you get an opportunity to practice from a company. And from there, what you just need is just an opportunity to at least to start your career somewhere. Once you start your career somewhere, that's it, right? You start gaining more experience on the job. The second question is about SQL. Do you need to learn the SQL as a data analyst or as a data engineer? A data analyst also need to have an understanding of SQL because you need to know how to query data. You need to know to understand to query the data that you actually need. So you need to learn the SQL language. It is very important for a data analyst. Now, for the data engineer, you learn a bit more. So you go ahead from not just learning a SQL query, but you also learn how to use Databricks. You also learn some other tools and some other languages, right? So I hope that answered your question, basically. So if you want to learn a data engineer, if data engineer is the core thing that you want to really learn, I would say you have a different career path because you are learning separate things, right? So you are understanding how to structure data, how to store data. So the basic things you learn now is Azure Databricks. I think that's one of the most important ones that people that wants to be a data engineer actually learn now. So you should learn Azure Databricks. You should learn a bit of Python. You should learn a bit of SQL, and then you should also learn a bit of maybe C#. So yeah, I hope that answer your question, Raji.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
thank you so much. We
Please, can I
have
say
about
one, please, about CV. Is there any program or is there anything you can do for us after the training for CV? I mean, it's like we have different type of CV for data analysis also.
No, we will not. I think you can do a lot of research online on how to draft a good CV, and even ChatGPT can help you. Let's move to the next person.
okay. So the next person is Wahab Abiodun. I'm going to allow you to speak now, Wahab. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Good afternoon. Please can you hear me?
Clearly, Wahab.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Diwali. I'm so happy to be a part of this section because I've been following for a year now. So my question is that in the next 5 to 2 years, I hope AI cannot take our job as a data analyst.
Okay, is that your question? Do you want me to answer now?
That's the question.
Okay, Wahab, that's a beautiful question, and I have a lot of debate about the same questions with a lot of people. One thing you should have at the back of your mind is AI can never, ever take over our job, right? What can take over your job is an inability to grow, right? So you inability not to learn more, right? So we can use AI to enhance what we do. So there are some mundane tasks that we are doing now that AI is going to help us do it faster. So what we need to do is to be at the front of AI. So any tools that is coming out, we need to be at the front as a data analyst, because there are tools that can help us enhance our work, not like the tool is going to take over our work. So a data analyst is somebody that thinks critically sometimes, right? So AI can never take over everything we do. So we need to just be at the front of the AI. Like for example, Microsoft Fabric, which is what Microsoft is investing heavily on now with Copilot. So if we can start. I'm sure you're going to introduce you to Microsoft Fabric as well. So we can start learning fabrics, understanding how to use fabrics, how to bring fabrics together as a data analyst, and that will really help you a lot. I hope that answer your question, Wahab. Yeah. Next person.
Okay, the next person is Najib Abdullahi. You can go ahead and ask your question now, Najib. Hi, Najib. You have the permission to speak now. You can go ahead and ask your question. Okay, if Najib is unavailable, Patrick Umokolo, I'm going to allow you to speak now. Please go ahead and ask your question, Patrick.
Available. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
Najib is available. Please, yes, please
Yeah.
go ahead. Then
Good day,
Patrick
good
can
day to you,
speak
Mr. Adewale. I'm moderator one. It is my great honor and privilege that I'm here, and I really appreciate for this great opportunity. May God bless you all. Uh, my
Amen.
question is, I'm a chemist. I'm a graduate chemist, so I want to enhance my knowledge in data analysis based on my own field for like scientific data analysis. Maybe if I'm able to undergo any research, how I can because there are so many projects which we undergo during our undergraduate thesis, which involve of so many data analysis, and we used to pay money or send it somewhere for data analysis and all sort of things like that. So
Yep.
I want you to help me, please. In which aspect can this program guide me to know how I can be able to sort data analysis myself when it comes to scientific data analysis, like on my own field as a chemist?
Yeah, I think you're in the right place, Najib. So basically, what you're trying to say is that you want to be a business intelligent analyst based on your role. based on your
Yes.
profession, actually. So
Yes,
you're a
based
BI
on my
analyst.
profession. Yes, because
Yeah,
you
based
see,
on your
I
profession. So
yeah,
there are different
there are some
ways.
things, there are some analysis we carry out, like all these quality assurance, control,
Yeah,
all those phytochemical and physicochemical evaluation of some organic compounds, and the now we have to analyze the data if we finish our practicals. So we used to.
yeah, I get your point, Najib.
Uh-huh.
So basically, you can apply data analytics to any field, right? And then this particular program is actually what you need, and also when you help you. And you apply data is data, so wherever it's coming from. So what you need to understand is the process, the aspects, how to work with it, how to analyze it, how to get what you want from it. Then you can now tie that with the understanding and the experience you already have in the business to bring out more stories from that data. So this bootcamp you are in, make sure you are very serious with it. Everything we are talking about for learning, make sure you learn. Then once you get to the aspect that at least you have started practicing, we started some practicals, then you can now apply that to your own profession. Maybe you can get to online and get some dummy data on medicines or pharmacies, and then you start analyzing that, right? And just
Yes.
have that focus on your profession. So you're in the right place. Don't panic.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So
Yeah.
at the end of program, maybe you will recommend some software for me that will guide me with some drugs analysis and all those things. Drugs data
Yep.
analysis.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, Patrick, you can go ahead and speak now. Hi, Patrick. You can
You
go
also
ahead
have
and ask your
Elizabeth.
question. Yes, Elizabeth can also go ahead if Patrick is not available yet. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Patrick. You have the
Good af-
permission to talk now.
good afternoon, Mr. Dewale. Good afternoon, administration. Thank you so much for this session.
Ah,
So, yeah, my question
yep.
is about the data structure in which we talked about, where you spoke on like the ETL aspect. I didn't really get the transform. I don't know if you can like shed more light on it, or if you can explain more on the transform aspect of the data structuring. Thank you, sir. That's my question.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. So transformation is, in a simple English, is the aspect of cleaning and getting your data ready. Just in simple English. So maybe your data is not well structured. Maybe your data has some uh, data quality issues, unwanted record, or your data is not aligned. So maybe somebody wants to type Lagos now, and they now type Lagos.
Okay.
So you need to correct that. So that is transformation. So you are now correcting, instead of typing Lagos, I'm correcting Lagos to Lagos. So that's transformation. So cleaning your data. I hope you understand that.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we just have, you can take Belo or Patrick. Is anybody's ready out
Yeah,
of them? Then yeah, we can round up.
I already allowed mic for both of them, so please go ahead. If any of you is available, go ahead and speak.
Okay, Belo or Patrick, if you're available. Okay, if none of them is available, I think we can
Okay, I
round up
don't think.
now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much once again, Mr. Dewale, for this beautiful session. It was really